Hey there, it's Deya, freelancer, digital business manager, entrepreneur. Welcome to a realistic day in my life. This is how it really is. Apartment, mess. I did not clean up for this video. Hair, mess. So I'm really excited to take you around and show you what exactly I get up to in a day, because this is one of the biggest questions I get asked is, what exactly do you do? Like, what do you do from morning to evening? So I didn't really plan any special things for today. This is literally me looking at what I'm gonna do and then taking you along with me. So I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what's gonna happen in this video, so I'm excited to find out just like you.
Good morning. So this is a realistic day in the life. So this is a realistic wake up time. Like, guys, I can't do the 5 a.m. thing. Like, I literally can't. I wish I could. I wish I could be that girl. I want to be that girl so bad, but I'm not. I'm the sleep till 9:50 a.m. girl who says she wakes up at 9 a.m. So I start the day normally off with a shower. I have to be clean, even though I'm home basically all day. I feed Fred the foster cat. I have to call him Fred the foster because otherwise I'll fall in love with him. I'm not gonna lie. And then I get started with my day. So I always check my calendar first to double check what I have to mentally keep track of time-wise. I'm that person that like can't relax until all my timely obligations are over for the day. Because like with to-dos, those are pretty flexible. You can kind of do those whenever you have pockets of time. But with the calendar items, I definitely want to have in my mind a checklist of all the times I need to be aware of. So, you know, like calls at 5 p.m. have me on edge all day, basically. And then after that, I normally dive into my emails, admin, Slack messages. So here I normally have to check 3 things. The first is my inbox. So in my inbox, I have a ton of emails normally. I just have to go through all of those. I get to inbox 0 every day. It's something I pride myself in. The second thing I check are my Slack workspaces. I spend a lot of time on these because I have to check quite a few workspaces. So in my Slack workspaces, I have my private one for my internal team. I have one for my course. I have one for my mastermind. And then I'm also in a few Slack workspaces where I'm a coach for somebody else's mastermind. Then I check Voxer. So Voxer is a voice message app where my mastermind students who purchase a Voxer upgrade, they can essentially send me voice messages. They can send me things to audit or look over.
And also on Mondays, I do a weekly check-in. So I do a check-in on how everybody's feeling at the start of the week and what are some goals for the week. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do those now as well. Hey there, so I was just filming some of the behind the scenes clips for this day in the life video. I'm just looking at myself like, oh my gosh. And I saw the sale for the Digital Business Manager Bootcamp coming, so I just wanted to capture that moment. It's really exciting, honestly, when a sale comes in. Every single sale still feels like, I mean, it's easy to kind of take it for granted after a while, but I want to make a really conscious effort to not take it for granted, because a year ago, I could have never imagined being here where I currently am. And I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in like chasing the next goal that we forget to celebrate the little wins that, yeah, would have really impressed a year ago version of you. So I'm really excited. Like, I'm really excited, and a huge welcome to Marina. I'm really excited to have you as a student in the DBM Bootcamp, and I can't wait to serve you and help you get to where you want to go. So yeah, that's a big win, raising the roof for sure.
Next up, I'll normally make myself a matcha. I know, I don't have any original thoughts or feelings. I am like everyone else in the world. I got into matcha a few years ago and it just makes my day better. So I'm making myself a matcha here.
All right, so now let's move on and actually make our to-do list for the day. So today on my list, I definitely need to review the reels of the week. We're currently also doing a big email move into Active Campaign. So I'm currently with MailerLite, but moving into Active Campaign because it just is a little bit more powerful, and I need a little bit more now that I have a bigger email list. So I just need to make sure I review all the emails and they're all good to go. I'm going to be scripting out another video for YouTube. I am having a few calls. I'm gonna edit some podcast episodes from a DBM Bootcamp student for our private podcast feed. I'm also gonna map out a potential podcast plan for a private podcast that I am starting for my email list, where I'll share essentially like little snippets of lessons of the day that I learn and yeah, little like tips and strategies and stuff like that. So yeah, if that's out by the time you see this video, then I'm sure there'll be a link in the description box and you can check that out if you want to.
So then on Mondays, I normally review my reels for the upcoming week. Claire is on my team and she helps me edit and draft up captions for my reels. She's awesome, so I'm really excited to see them. Though I always cringe when I look at my own face in reels because it's just not fun, and that's actually part of the reason why I'm hiring Claire, because I need to outsource the things that make me uncomfortable about myself, because the things that make me uncomfortable I tend to overthink, and if I overthink I don't take action. So having Claire is instrumentally helpful. Then I had my call with Chelsea, who is my marketing assistant. In this call, we talked about quite a handful of things that we are currently both working on. So what Chelsea is working on, number one, is helping me develop out my free Facebook group. It's called the A-Team Collective. If you want to join us, then definitely you can find a link below in the description box. She's also helping me with prepping blog posts for our website. So we publish bi-weekly blog posts right now. So she's helping me format them and create cute little visuals for them. So I'll review that as well. She's helping me with outlining some of my YouTube scripts and helping me do kind of the rough draft before I go in and add final touches and everything. She's also helping with keyword research, and as well as helping me prep products for the DBM shop, which you can find on my website. Specifically, we're working on the Evergreen Webinar Funnel product, which is a project plan to help you get started with a webinar funnel if that's something you want to create for your online course, for example. And the final thing is we talk about pitching. We are doing some pitching for PR right now, and so we're just talking and updating on the efforts for that. We headed to our favorite local cafe. So when it comes to cafe tasks, I normally save a bigger task that feels a little bit overwhelming to do at a cafe, because I tend to be more focused at a cafe. I think it has to do with the fact that there are other people working from there, so it feels a bit like communal peer pressure not to be goofing off because other people can see my screen. I'm just scripting out this short video. It's funny because I'm scripting out the video that I'm currently, like the one you're currently watching. So I was scripting out during this clip the voiceover that I'm currently verbally saying. So that's super trippy. So that's what I'm doing there. And then after I finished that, Max and I went out on a walk together, which you'll see, like, Prague is stunning. It's beautiful. And it's just such a good way to clear your head and remind yourself that there are bigger things, or at least it reminds me that there are bigger things in life than my work, because when I work from home, I tend to get really absorbed into my tasks. So like leaving that space and environment allows me to see like, oh, like I'm getting perspective. Like there's so much more to life than just me sitting in front of my laptop, and there are other people and amazing things and beautiful things. So that really is a good refresher for sure. I also got to have a bagel, which was delicious, and Max had a smoothie of some kind. I forgot what it was. And then I started editing podcast episodes from one of the DBM Bootcamp alumnus, Megan. I hope I'm using alumnus correctly. Or alumni. I'm pretty sure it's alumnus when singular. So we actually have a private podcast for all DBM Bootcamp students where I kind of walk them through different hurdles that they might be encountering during the course. So I always invite alumni to come and record episodes to share teachings or takeaways from their own journeys to working successfully as digital business managers. So Megan is one of our incredible alumni, and she recorded 2 podcast episodes, so I'm editing them here. And one of them is about how to balance having a toddler and still getting the course done and working for your clients as a freelancer. And the other one is about how to not fall into the comparison game, which we all tend to fall into sometimes. Then I had a call with our 2 interns, Jada and Anne. In this call, we normally chat through like weekly updates. So what went well, what didn't go well, what they're stuck on, any questions they have, if they need me to review anything. And then we talk about what's upcoming on their plate for the coming week. So Anne is working on PR and content ideas and pitching stuff for us, and Jada is currently working on some IG stories and ads creative stuff for us. And then I had another call today with a girl from my mastermind called Amisha, who's an incredible copywriter. I'm actually very selective about the calls I put on my calendar just because calls tend to be very draining for me and very destructive to my workflow. But I was super excited about this call because she's super nice, and it's just nice to connect with other nice people who are experts in their field, and I feel like I learn so much every time I'm on a call with one of these. So I got to hear what's going on essentially in her side of the world because she's based in the US. And then I transferred to the ground because sometimes you just need a change of scenery. I ordered some groceries for the week here with the help of my assistant Fred, who was honestly, between you and me, a hindrance to the efforts for sure and delayed the process a lot. And then I started mapping out my new private podcast called Dear Biz Bestie, where I share chats with my biz bestie, aka you, about strategies, tips, musings, mindset hurdles, the good and the bad. And it's funny because I didn't actually want to commit to recording it because I was like, oh, recording it is like so finite and I'm not sure my plan is perfect enough. You know, that is a big lessons learned, is like, don't get stuck in the planning stage that you never get to the doing stage. So in this film clip, I actually just began recording. Like, I got the microphone and I started recording, and I recorded the welcome episode and the first 2 episodes of this private podcast. If you want a link to opt in to this private podcast, you can find that in the description box below. So I'm really happy with that progress. I recorded one of like the 2 reasons why I'm terrified of starting YouTube, and the other one is about whether or not you are actually looking for strategy help or if actually you're just looking for validation, which is a lesson that I really learned recently. So yeah, if you want a link to listen to that, you'll find it below in the description box. And then we wrapped up the day. So we normally cook dinner during the week, but the groceries weren't arriving until tomorrow. So today we ordered some food. These are plant-based Beyond Meat burgers, and they were really delicious. We also had a plant-based quesadilla, super good, and we are currently watching Castle on Amazon Prime, and that's how our night ended, essentially. So that's it. That is a very realistic day in my life of how I get my work done and the things that I might work on a Monday. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, bye!